Attention all personnel. Incoming podcast. This is MASH Matters.
Welcome to MASH Matters, the podcast celebrating the greatest television series of all time. I'm Ryan Patrick, and he is Jeff Maxwell. Jeff, what are you doing? What, Jeff? Oh my goodness! What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, hey, Ryan!
We're recording a podcast.
Oh, a podcast? Okay. Oh, all right. Good. Hi, everybody. This is Jeff Maxwell at a podcast.
Yeah. Now, I want to say we're doing something a little. This is going to be a wild ride today. We're doing something completely different here today. We're doing this both on audio and video. We're going to release this video also of this podcast. We've never done that before.
Never.
So if you want to see what Jeff was laughing at, go to the website, mashmatters.com. Look at the show notes for this particular episode. This is episode, what is this? Episode 84? I think this
84?
is 84, I believe.
84V for video.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll see the link. You can also just go to our YouTube channel and see it there as well.
That is if you care.
If you care, if you want to see what we look like, I'm telling you right now, we have faces for radio. Okay. We have the perfect podcasting faces.
We do.
You know,
we have good podcasting faces.
Watch at your own risk.
And my hair is not bad.
You got good hair today. We have our headphones on, so that alters our magnificent hair today. But and my beard is looking very full today on the.
It does look full. It looks full.
Thank you.
People are going to notice that. Going to write in and say, Ryan's beard looks really full.
If that's the nicest thing they can say about this particular episode, I think we'll be okay.
And of course, my goatee.
Yes. You can watch all of this on our website. Just go to mashmatters.com and look for episode 84, and you can see it right there. In vivid 4K. Well, no, I don't think it's 4K, but
not 4K.
You probably don't want to watch it in 4K in retrospect. So this is going to be, we've done something similar to this before, but even then we were more prepared than we are now.
Yeah.
So let me give a little bit of a backstory here. We were at the time of this recording, we were going to record an interview with several people. We're not going to tell you who it is yet, but because we're going to do it eventually.
We're going to do it. And
it's
they're
going to
very
be really
exciting people.
It's going to be great. I think you're going to really, really enjoy it. Unfortunately, something happened and one of our guests had to reschedule at the last minute. And so we are going to reschedule that episode, that interview, somewhere down the line. That leaves us without anything for a new episode. We have a new episode coming up. We just missed one, so we don't want to miss another episode. So we thought, well, hey, why don't we just push record and see where this takes us?
Okay, go ahead. Push record. See what happens.
We're already recording. We started like 5 minutes ago. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. You look great. You sound great.
Thank you, Miss.
Here,
thank you very much.
I'll put on my glasses too. So
yes, thank you, Miss Purdy.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So we have nothing prepared for this episode. Usually we have questions and a few answers too prepared.
Yeah.
The last time we did this unprepared episode, we actually did have a couple of things somewhat prepared, as backups in case it went south. Yeah. We have nothing. We have no safety net whatsoever.
We got nothing. We are flying blind, as they say.
Yes, we are. Now I have, a massive list of questions, and I could just pull it up and just point to one and randomly, and we could see if we know the answers to them. But before we do that, Jeff, how are you?
Hey, Ryan, I'm okay. I'm pretty good. Yeah. Let's before we get into all that MASH stuff, because I know everybody wants to hear that and wants to hear the behind the scenes, the important emotional elements and ingredients that went into the makeup of an incredibly good show that was on TV.
Yes,
called MASH. But before we get into that, I'd like to discuss the driver that I was supposed to buy. Now, my friend loaned me a driver. He said, I paid $700 for this thing. You can try it. If you like it, give me $200 and it's yours. So I go to the driving range and I try it for about an hour. I hit a whole bucket of balls. My heel on the right foot started to hurt incredibly bad. And I had to stop, and I hated the driver. And so I now have that stupid thing sitting in the back of my car, and I can't get a hold of the guy to get rid of the driver.
Really?
So here we are. I've got a driver that I hate. It's taking room in the back of my car, and I don't know what to do. So that's what's going on for me. That's my angst that I'm dealing with right now.
So if the owner of the driver is listening, please pick up your phone and check your voicemails.
Or pick up the damn driver. That would be even better.
That would be even better. All right. Well, thank you for that update, Jeff.
You're welcome.
We'll continue to monitor the situation and see how things are going.
Okay, please. Thank you.
Now you were at the beginning. You were reading your cookbook.
I was
mess. There it is, right there.
This is great.
One of the. It is great. It is great. The recipes are hilarious.
You can't buy it. It's done. You can't get it unless you go on the black market or the dark web. I think you go on the dark web or the behind the scenes web.
I don't think people are going on the dark web to look for your cookbook. I just don't think so.
I don't know.
No,
just saying.
Yeah. So a question that we get a lot, routinely is, do you have any updates on the cookbook? The cookbook saga.
No.
All right. This episode is going really, really well so far.
Well, just like the last one we tried to do. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, no, I have an update.
Okay.
Here's the truth. I always want to speak the truth. I do most of the time. So here's the business side of a cookbook written by a guy who was on MASH about the show and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I write the book in 1995. Now that when I wrote the book, I was 10. So that was 1995.
You wrote it in crayon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, first draft.
It was hard because it just squished all over me. I didn't like it. So I made a deal. An agent got me the deal. The 20th Century Fox, who owned MASH, and they say, hey, we own this stuff. They own the rights to the television show. They allowed me to write the book. They, of course, got a percentage of each book that was sold. Not a huge percentage. They were decent, but a percentage. Now, the publisher who paid me to write the book handsomely, well, not that handsomely, but it was okay.
He was a handsome publisher. Is that what you're saying?
Attractive man, very attractive man.
All right.
He paid me to write the book, and he made the deal with 20th Century Fox. And I wrote the book. It came out in 1997. That's where you and I met when I was on your show talking about the book, promoting the book. And it was I'm glad we did that. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here today having this much fun and just terrifying the listeners what we're talking about. So the book sold pretty good. Here we are in 2021. What I needed to do, because the publisher did bad things with all of the printing parts of the book, all of the files he threw them away.
That's crazy. That's just crazy to me.
It's crazy. Why he did that, I'll never know. He said he did. I think perhaps he probably just accidentally did it. I don't know what it was, but he did it. I flipped out. Why did you do that? At least you could have called me and said, hey, you want to buy the files or pay me, or we'll whatever. It was a terrible thing to do. Hurt my feelings.
Sure.
And as a business thing, it was a terrible thing to do for the product. So I went after the publisher. in order to
with a baseball bat. That driver! You could use that driver.
Oh, wish I'd have had that driver.
Man, missed opportunity.
So I said, listen, why don't you give me the rights to the book, and I will do what I need to do to reorganize the quality of the book, and so we can print it again. And he said, no. That went on for a good 8 months. He finally relented and said, okay, you have the rights to the book. Because in a book, the publisher does have certain rights to the ownership of the copyright. However, the author does own the copyright. Still, the publisher has certain publishing rights to that copyright and can do certain things. He wasn't about to give that up. I couldn't do anything unless he did. Finally, long story short, he relinquished all the rights. So now I own 100% of the rights to Secrets to MASH, Mask the Lost Recipes, and Private Igor.
Fantastic.
So now my goal is to reconstitute the book to bring the quality back to where it should be. In order to do that, however, it's a very complicated thing to do because I will need to scan a really good copy of the book, which I have a couple of, and then print them appropriately so that the quality of the book, of the original book, is there again. So that's a process that I'm going through as to how to figure that out.
That's tough too, because scanners don't really pick up crayon.
Exactly. Yeah, and it melts all over the scanning lens.
Yeah, it gets messy.
It's messy. You got to find the right people that know these things. So I am in the process of attempting to try and figure out how to do this. Because I really like the book. Is really cute. It's got a lot of great recipes.
It's a great book.
Are wonderful. I'm thinking of doing a revised edition. If I'm going to do this, I could perhaps do a revised edition to coincide with the 50th anniversary of MASH. So all those things are going in. So I'm sorry if I bored everybody. But that's the logistics.
Oh, people stopped listening like 15 minutes ago. Yeah. Don't worry about it. No. It's all right.
Yeah. I'm going to take a little nap myself. So I just wanted to say that because people ask, that's the whole truth and nothing but the truth of what's going on with that book. And as soon as I figure it out and get it together, and if anybody has an idea, don't hesitate to call me. Okay. Contact MASH Matters. And you will get a copy at a discounted price.
So specifically, you need just if anybody has any guidance about like the scanning and the
scanning, because there are a lot of pictures in the book
reformatting
that I cannot recreate without a year's worth of effort. And the pictures were taken. The pictures in the book some of them were taken by me. Those are in the back of the book. But a lot of the pictures were taken from frames off of videotape that I spent 6 months in an editing room saying, I want that frame. No, give me that frame. I'll take that frame. Because I wanted it to tell a story the way I wanted to tell it. So I had to do frame by frame from 80 some odd shows to get the exact frames that I wanted. And that's hard to do again. So the pictures are there. If they're scanned properly and very well, they should be able to be printed with the same quality. So that's what that's
a major update. I mean, you said you didn't really have an update, but that is a major update. So hopefully in the not too distant future, we will have new copies of Secrets of the MASH Mess. That's fantastic. See,
thank you.
This is going to be a good episode. How about that? Right there. That is worth the price of admission right there.
And if you don't like that, here's my new barbecue book. I'm serious about barbecue. It says Adam Perry Lang, but I don't know who that is. They made a mistake.
That's an interesting choice of name to go by. But
wonderful book.
Yeah.
I got
a lot. Okay. I have books over there.
Do you have books? What about your book?
I mean, I did. I co-wrote a book, but it's like a business book down there.
Whoa, darn good. Darn well.
It's down there. Yeah. But I keep them on the bottom shelf to stay humble. I don't want to put it up on the top, and make it look like I'm a bigwig. I keep all the books that I helped to write down on the bottom shelf.
Well, we should talk about one of your books on the bottom shelf.
You want me to get a copy of it?
Sure.
If I walk over there, you're going to see people who are watching on YouTube are going to see that, we always joke about not wearing pants, but you're going to see. I mean, okay. All right.
Well, let's move on.
You asked for it.
We don't have to see
maybe I can pixelate this. Hold on a second. Let me step over here. See, I'm telling you, I'm wearing shorts. See, I'm wearing shorts. Let's see here. Let me grab this. Shield your eyes. Avert your eyes.
Children.
Okay, I'm
out of the room. Okay,
I'm back. Okay. So this is a book that I wrote with my friend Tim Miles.
Look at that.
And
brand
Lynn
your
Miles
own
Peisker. It's BYOB, brand your own business. And
cool.
it is available on Amazon. So if you want to read it, I wrote some of it. My friend Tim wrote most of it. Lynn wrote some really good stuff too. The boring stuff in it was written by me. Like this part right here, that's the boring part, and it was written by me.
Excellent.
Yeah. So if you're a business owner, or if you're into marketing, that's what I do. On the side.
Yeah.
My side hustle. When I'm not podcasting and having unprepared podcasting.
Unprepared podcast. Well, that's your new book, Unprepared Podcast, and how to defeat it.
We're on to something there. Yeah. Well, we haven't figured that out yet. So anyway, yes, brand your own business. You can find it on Amazon. We'll put a link in the show notes if you.
We've been doing this for 3 years. I did not know you wrote that book.
I don't like to, I don't like to toot my own horn that way, Jeff. I'd like to,
Why not? I mean, tooting, you just toot and see what happens. There's nothing wrong with tooting.
I toot all the time, Jeff. I toot all this. That's my wife. She'll tell you I toot.
Holy moly!
So that's my book. Right
Congratulations. Well, that's good.
Thank you.
Everybody should go out and buy one of those.
Yeah, and that's just one of the. I see what you did there. And so this is all my stuff. You can see if this is my office, and you'll see organized chaos in the video. But right here, over here, I'm going to do this right here over my shoulder. That's my MASH collection back there.
Wow.
That's all my MASH memorabilia.
MASH stuff.
Maybe we'll do that someday. Maybe I'll do like a video or something and showing off my collection and things. But yeah.
Well, okay. See behind me, there's a few books there.
Yeah.
And then there's a neat little bowl. That's cool. That bowl.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pictures of me and my wife in Paris. The first time we went to Paris.
Very nice.
I love Paris in the springtime. I loved it. Paris was so good. Little girl, thank heaven for a little girl, for without them, what would little boys do? That's a weird movie.
It's getting weird. It's getting weird.
Yeah. But he was weird. That was a weird thing, all about the little girls, and he was anyway. I'm not going to go there. So, okay, so the pictures of Paris, that nice, whatever that thing is, that cabinet thing. And this thing here is my grandmother, okay? And then down here, wait a minute, is that my grandmother? I'm not sure whose grandmother that is, actually, because you never know.
It's a grandmother.
It's a grandmother. Right. Or I'm not sure. That might be the neighbor. I don't remember. But I bought it at a swap meet. And I just thought it was a nice thing, and I didn't realize what it was.
They threw the ashes in for free. Yes.
No extra charge.
Yeah.
He's a French guy. Would you like the ashes with it? We'll get you a good deal.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I guess we should talk about MASH at some point here, since this is a MASH podcast, even though we're unprepared. I can pull it. You want me to just pull up a question and see? I can just at random. Okay.
Random question. See if we know the answer. Let's
see here. Now we may not be able to answer this question, but I'm just going to pull it up here. Okay. This one's from Andrea. I believe Andrea is one of our Patreon VIPs also. Hi guys, I have another question for the never can probably be answered file. Oh, good. Well, we picked the right one for this episode, didn't we?
Starting off good.
All right.
Yeah.
Whenever Hawkeye wore his dress uniform, he never had any decorations or medals. However, he was, I would think, eligible for 2 Purple Hearts. Once when the heater blew up, and once when he and Margaret were in the hut and the piece of ceiling came down on them. My guess is that he never would have put in for them, as he probably wouldn't think they were worthy of decoration compared to these soldiers who were wounded in battle. Just curious of your thoughts. Now, here's a question that might be able to be answered. Jeff, were there ever any military consultants on set to provide guidance to the actors? As always, love the podcast and very appreciative of all the work you do for us. Well, thank you, Andrea. As far as Hawkeye, I can't see Hawkeye ever wanting to put in for a Purple Heart. You know, there's the episode where BJ is put in for a Purple Heart and gets it in, and for basically sacrificing a soldier to save his own hide. And that really affected him in a big way. So based on that episode with BJ and just knowing Hawkeye like we know him, I can't see Hawkeye ever wanting to put in for any kind of commendation, any kind of medal. He was not interested in that at all. Although you're right, he probably could qualify for one, at least 2 Purple Hearts, but I just see that I just don't see him doing that.
No, I don't think so. Don't think so.
So Jeff, the question she said for you was there a military consultant on? I know you had medical consultants on set to kind of guide through the operations and all the medical jargon, but what about military? Were there military consultants on the set?
Well, I can't absolutely positively guarantee that there never was. I never saw one. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, to be truthful, I don't know. I don't think so, but who knows? Sometime they may have, you know, I think probably they would have been able to just call somebody up or look at a book, you know, or something, and look something up in a book rather than actually have a consultant show up at those things. I don't think there was. You know, there were Connie Isaiah was a wonderful. She was a nurse. She was there to help with all of the medical stuff, and so was Dr. Deschelle. Did a great job for years, and they were the 2 medical consultants that were the most important. But I never remember a military guy there. And
also, you know, Gene Reynolds and Larry Gelbart had gone to Korea and had also interviewed all of these army doctors and military, the surgeons who had served in the military. So I'm sure that a lot of the military aspects of the show, of the storylines, were pulled directly from those. Those interviews. A lot of it, but you have to think that they had to. There was probably somebody on the Rolodex who, if they had a specific question about the military, that they could call up, but we don't know who that person was.
Including all of those people that they talked with, all those doctors. He probably could have just picked up and called Dr. Bob and said, "Hey, Dr. Bob, you were in Korea. What happens when the Jeep goes in and something happened? We got to do." I'm sure they would have known as well. So they probably used him as, you know, a little bit of guide, you know.
Right.
So that's. So what was our friend's name who asked
Andrea.
That question?
That was Andrea. Yes.
Thank you, Andrea, for asking that question. And don't ask anymore. Thank you very much. Jared, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just picking another random question. Jared says, and I know we've talked about this before, but he has a specific question. I'm wondering how many takes did Jeff get to dance with Tom Hanks' wife, Rita Wilson, while filming Hey, Look Me Over?
Not nearly enough. Not nearly.
Did you keep screwing up in the background so that they would have to keep doing multiple takes?
Boy, I'll tell you, I have to admit, I was smitten. I was just drop dead smitten. There I was, and it's
hard not to be.
Not to be, you know. I just the general, you know. I had to be very connected to her. For the scene, you know, so I could push Hawkeye out of the way. And that was the point, that I was very connected with this lovely woman. And I was. And so, and then when I think I told this before, but I went to change clothes. That was the end of the day. I went to change clothes, and I came running back to, you know, say, "Hey, would you like to get a marshmallow somewhere?" And she'd gone already. And I went,
disappeared into the night.
Disappeared into the night. I think that was just before she met Tom Hanks. Just before.
Man.
So just that little.
Just missed it by that much.
That much. But she was very, very nice and very sweet. Very, very nice person. So.
And if you're listening, Rita, we would love to have you on the podcast.
Please. And I will apologize personally for everything I did that day.
Maybe that's why she hasn't returned any of our calls so far.
It might be. And Tom, stop calling me. Leave me alone. The threats are going to go nowhere.
He has a driver in his back seat, and he's not afraid to use it. Just saying it, Tom. Cool it. What a jerk. What a jerk.
Well, really? Everybody thinks he's such a nice guy.
Oh my. Okay, let's see. Let's just pick up another. Let's just do another random question.
Random question.
Okay. I don't
see. This is, ladies and gentlemen.
Some of these are really long, and I don't want to read anything too long.
Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody knows where all the sound effects come from. The cracked sound effects machine. I just want to make sure people know.
Okay, so. Yeah, I'm sure that they didn't know where that came from. So Lucas asks some questions just for us, not necessarily anything with MASH, but he says, we asked tons of questions related to MASH, but we're probably missing some information on you guys. So he has three questions here.
Yes, I'm ready.
What is your favorite meal that you can eat almost any time? And that is excluding creamed weenies, he points out. Okay. So Jeff, what is your favorite meal that you could eat anytime? Like if any day, this is my go-to meal.
Really good barbecued ribs.
Okay.
Barbecued ribs. Really good ones. Long, slow cooking barbecued ribs. So they're just gorgeous inside and tasty and smoky and wonderful.
Now, are these ribs that you are smoking yourself, or is there a place in your area that you like to frequent to eat ribs?
Well, I have not. Well, yes, there's one place that I used to go to that I would eat ribs at that were very good, and that was called Dr. Hoggly Woggly's Tyler, Texas Barbecue. Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah. You have to say that for me one more time.
Let me say that again for any of those of you who missed that. That's Dr. Hoggly Woggly's Tyler, Texas Barbecue.
That is magnificent.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
Wow.
It's in the valley. I don't know if it's still there or not. It probably is. And they made the best ribs in a restaurant around me. I'd never tasted a better set of ribs anywhere other than that restaurant. And that encouraged me to learn how to actually prepare smoked ribs. So I do that. And I have a cooking device called a Kamado or a Kamado, depending on your perspective. And it's a low, slow cooking device made out of ceramic material. And it can cook for, 14 hours if you wanted to. And if you work the airflow right. But that's what I do. I love it. I love it. And you, my friend, you were very considerate and sent me a gift of barbecue sauce and some spices and things. And I thank you very much and used those.
Yeah, those were from, I sent you, I think, some sauce from our local establishment, 17th Street Bar and Grill, which is our local. And these ribs that they make there are have won like the world championship, the Memphis in May, and so like the big, these are it was started by a guy named Mike Mills, who was a legend in the barbecue world, and he passed away a couple of years ago. So if you're ever in our area, if you ever come here to visit me, I'm taking you to 17th Street so you can have some ribs over there.
I'm leaving in 20 minutes.
Okay. His second question is, what's your favorite thing to do on a Saturday morning? Lucas wants to know. What do you like to do? I guess you could say Sunday or Saturday. Or just any morning, I guess. But particularly he has Saturday. For me, I like to go. My wife and I like to go to antique stores and just walk around and just look, and we don't necessarily buy anything. Every now and then I'll find something to buy. But we just like to go and look around and marvel at the crap that people try to pass off as antiques sometimes.
Oh, that's good.
So that's one of the things we like to do on Saturday morning. Jeff, what do you like to do?
Before I get to that, what about your favorite meal? What do you like?
Oh, I didn't answer that. I'm sorry. I didn't answer.
Let's hear that.
Let's see. I am.
Forgive me. I keep jostling around. I think my chair is falling apart.
No, it's okay. Mine too.
Okay.
For me, I'm a simple man when it comes to food. I don't necessarily get in for anything fancy. You give me a good burger or good pizza, and I'm golden. I'm golden. Okay. Now there is bad pizza out there, and I know where some of the bad pizza is, and I try to avoid it at all costs. But in this area, down in the southern tip of Illinois, we're actually blessed with quite a few really good pizza places.
Ooh.
And so So when you come, Jeff, when we're not at the rib place, I'm going to take you over to the pizza places.
Yummy.
Some people do like wine tours. I'll do a pizza tour with you.
I like it.
We'll just get in a car and just get a slice at every spot.
Absolutely. I'm in. And you come here, I will make you ribs and a cheeseburger, my exclusive cheeseburger.
We
will eat like maniacs. Yes. Okay. Now, what was the question? Oh, what do you do?
Lucas wants to know, what do we do? What's our favorite thing to do on a Saturday morning?
Well, it's none of your business, Lucas. Come on. Give me a break. What do you do on Saturday morning? Well, You know what, on Sunday morning, what I like to do, my wife and I get up and I make croissants. Now, I don't start from scratch. They're great croissants and they're frozen. And you take them out the night before and you set them on a pot or a slab of something and they grow. They unfreeze and they get puffy and they're gorgeous. And then you put them in the oven the next morning for about 20, 25 minutes and they're drop dead delicious. So on Saturday mornings, I make us great scrambled eggs and we eat scrambled eggs with delicious croissants. And that's really fun. That's what I like to do. And then I drink gin right immediately thereafter.
Well, you just dip your croissants in the gin, right? You just dunk them.
I stopped doing it. It makes them soggy. I don't like it.
And his final question for us: do you like to mow the lawn?
Okay, this is going to sound really stupid. Yes. Although I don't do it any longer because we live in Los Angeles, California. Mm-hmm. And Los Angeles, California the drought started pretty seriously here in California and we're all over the place. And so my wife, who's a brilliant landscaper person, created a front yard and a backyard that is almost free of actual grass. So she used all the succulent plants and all the things that she could find to make it so that we didn't have to have a bunch of grass that we had to water and mow. So we have a tiny little patch of grass in the front yard and a tiny little patch of grass in the backyard. Now, we do have a gardener. Why we have a gardener, I don't know. But he takes care of a lot of stuff that neither she or I want to do. But I bought, before we had the gardener, I bought one of those cool electric lawnmowers in Home Depot. Gorgeous machine. I went, this is cool. So I brought it home and I charge up the battery and I use it. And for about maybe a couple of months, I was out there mowing every chance I got. I mean, it only took 10 minutes because there wasn't much grass. But it was so fun because instead of gasoline powered thing, this was and we just hummed along and it would cut the grass and it was really fun to do. It was relaxing for me. So yes, I do, but I no longer do it because the gardener guy does it.
Okay. All right.
So Ryan.
Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with mowing. I have a riding mower and, because I've got about an acre here that I mow and, once I'm out there and I've got my headphones on, I'm listening to a podcast or something, it's okay. But I don't find it cathartic or relaxing like some people do. Some people like to get out on the riding mower. I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I'm glad when it's done. I'm glad when I'm finished mowing. In fact, it's funny that Lucas would ask this and then we would pull this question up, because actually when we finish here recording this episode, I'm going to have to go mow.
Whoa, you're going to go mow?
I'm going to have to, because the grass is getting high and it's supposed to rain this week and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm loving this concept of basically replacing all of the grass in your yard with other things, so that you don't have to mow. That's an incredible concept, and I need to look into that. If I could replace everything in my yard that has grass with something that's not grass. Now again, though, I have like an acre, so that's a lot of stuff to replace. But I think you're onto something, Jeff.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, he said, "I have an acre." That's the second time he said, "I have an acre." You know, that's
I'm a landowner, Jeff. Not only am I an author, I am a
author, landowner. That's how you afforded that acre, was selling those books.
Yeah. This book right here paid for. Well, I don't even know if I've made enough money from this book to buy the book. Actually, to be honest,
that book's not cheap. Yeah. Ooh, do we have another one? This is fun.
Well, we have lots of them. Let me look through here. Let's see here, boy.
Something we can get sued for. Just some kind of, or at least a threat of a lawsuit. That's always fun.
We haven't been sued yet. I'm a little disappointed. We're almost 4 years into this podcast, and we haven't been.
You're nothing until you got a lawsuit going.
Yeah. Dean asks a very burning question. Here we go.
Hey, Dean!
Dean says, here is a critical burning question for your consideration. Why didn't Harry Morgan ever trim his upturned eyebrow? Was this ever discussed on set? Jeff? I wanted to read that to give you an idea of some of the questions we get here on the podcast. And
why didn't he trim the upturned eyebrow?
He did have some, he did have some pretty wicked eyebrows in some of those.
He did. He did. Why he didn't do that, I don't know. Probably he was a guy in a war zone, and he probably didn't think it was an important thing to do and didn't even think about it. My thought, he was a guy from, where was he from? Petaluma?
Hannibal, Missouri.
Hannibal, Missouri.
Yeah.
Probably in Hannibal,
you almost
Missouri.
got it. Keep trying.
I'll call in. Leave a wake-up call. I'll get it in the morning. It was probably wasn't the most important issue on his mind, and other people around him probably had eyebrows, eyelashes sticking up all over the place too. So
maybe it was a character choice. Maybe he said, Sherman Potter would have an upturned bushy eyebrow.
It's very possible. Very possible.
It could be that he put it in his contract. I will do the role, but do not touch my eyebrows.
Do not touch my eyebrows. I do remember he had a special eyebrow person come in and work with him later on. That's
when you know you've made it right there. That's when you know you're a star.
You have your own eyebrow person. Yes, you are a star. He was a great guy, by the way. I used to stand there and he was in line and said something to me, and we were doing these scenes. And I thought, I'm looking at Harry Morgan, and he was in some of the best movies I've ever witnessed, like High Noon and Hair at the Wind and a jillion others. And I used to watch him and think, my God, what a great actor, and all these great parts. And then he's standing looking at me, and I'm going, weenies, whatever I was saying. And I think, what a great moment to be able to do this. To stand in front of me. He's looking at me and I'm looking at him. He used to be looking at Gary Cooper and all these great stars. And he's looking at Jeff Maxwell. And I thought, boy, this is cool. So this is cool.
You think he was thinking the same thing when he was thinking, man, here I am looking at Jeff Maxwell.
I think he was worried about his eyebrow. He was probably going, God, I hope he likes my eyebrow. Or I hope I don't stick him with it.
I hope he's not staring at my eyebrow.
Yeah. Like he always does. Oh, God. No, but he was a great guy, great man, great actor.
Yeah, I wish one of the sad things about this podcast, starting this podcast so late, is missing out on the opportunity to be able to. I just knocked things over. Missing out on the opportunity to talk to people like Harry Morgan and McLean Stevenson and Larry Linville and Wayne Rogers. How wonderful it would have been to talk to David Ogden Stiers.
Yes.
But we have been able to talk to people who talk to them,
Yes.
and we're going to continue to do that as well. And and that's the other thing is we're still working on getting more interviews, and people will write in and say, hey, are you going to talk to this person? You're going to talk to this person? Hey, well, what about this person who was in this one episode? The answer to all of those questions is yes, we would love to talk to them. We just don't always know how to get in touch with everybody, but we do have connections with some of these people, and we're efforting to get some of those scheduled. And I'm hoping that we'll have more interviews for you coming up. I know we have some in the pipeline that we're working on, and I think you're going to like them. I think you're going to enjoy them. And when we started this podcast, I said from the start, even if we could talk to the assistant to the caterer on the set, I will, the best boy's best boy, even whoever, we will talk to them because they're all going to have stories. They're all going to have stories from the set, and anything. As a MASH fan myself, anytime I get to hear any kind of behind the scenes story, no matter how mundane they may think it is, to me as a fan, it is, it's amazing. I gobble it up. I love it. So, so we're hoping to be able to bring more of those to you. So if you have ever written us saying, hey, what about this person? Yes, we would love to talk to them. Don't know if we're ever going to talk to them, but we hope that we can work it out where we can talk to them. So.
Well, and most people are very receptive to being guests. There's no reason they shouldn't be,
except for that one guy. We're not going to say who, but there's that one guy who.
I'm going to talk about him. Yeah. But and we are. Yeah, I'm anxious and looking forward to the folks who are coming up.
Yeah,
It'll be.
Boy,
fun.
the interview we had scheduled for today that didn't happen.
Ooh, doggies.
Man, it was going to be a good one.
Was going to be a good one. You folks would really have loved that interview.
but unfortunately, instead, you got this.
You got this thing.
Yeah.
This wonderful video thing.
Well, I guess we could just wrap this up now. Since we didn't really have anything planned, I don't have anything planned to finish this episode either. For those of you who have listened and watched this episode in its entirety,
we apologize.
I am so sorry. So sorry. One more. Steve Larkin from Columbia.
Steve. Whoa, Steve, where has Steve been?
Steve said, hello, just wondering what you guys think of the toys that were produced during MASH's run. Seriously, what child wants to play with a Charles Emerson Winchester III action figure? Well, one moment. You're going to see my legs again as I get up and walk across my room. I'll tell you what kid.
Again, please take the children out of the room. Right, please step away from the computer.
This kid right here.
Children out. Okay.
Yeah, here. This one right here would want to play with it.
Wow.
So I have, so if you're watching the video, you can see that I have my Charles Emerson Winchester action figure here.
Oh, look at that.
Now I have all the action figures. I have all of them. And you can't really see up on top of my shelf. I have they're all in a little display up there. Sorry for that. But this is Charles. And what's funny is, now this is the one that I have now. But when I was a kid, I actually did have a Charles action figure when I was a kid. He was I think he was the only one I had. I was a Charles fan from very early on. So when, as a kid, and okay, let's face it, I was a weird kid, but when I'm a kid going to the toy store and here's MASH action figures, and I was a MASH fan even at an early age, and I'm looking at them all, I'm like, Hawkeye, nah, BJ, no, Klinger, Winchester. Now that's the action figure I want. And so I have, I had this when I was a kid, but this is not the one I had as a kid. This is one I bought, or actually this was gifted to me, by my friend who, wrote this book. To answer your question, Steve, what kid would want to play with it? This kid right here.
Well, there you go. There he is. There's the kid.
I'll take a picture of all of my action figures, and I'll put them on the show notes for this episode 84 at mashmatters.com. But you can see this on the video as well. That there's my, and this was originally for sale at Toys R Us, and the price on this was $2.28 for this bad boy right here when you bought it new.
It's funny that Charles is not the guy that I would connect to an action figure.
Right?
There's nothing very action.
There's no action in it.
Charles. None.
Yeah, I know. They had the full set. They had the ambulance. They had the helicopter, and it was you can see on the back here. Actually, there's some of the if you're watching this on the video, you can see some of the other things that were for sale with the action figures. But I don't have the Jeep or the ambulance or the helicopter yet. I'm always looking out for them, but don't have them.
I have something that I don't remember. I have a drawer that I have a lot of stuff in.
A drawer.
I have a drawer.
I have shelves. You have a MASH drawer.
I have shelves. We should get together. Put our shelves next to your drawers.
Yes.
I have a drawer filled with things like that, and and they're not only MASH but other shows and people and stuff that I've collected over the years. And so I'm going to go through that drawer and see what I have that might fit your shelf for $10,000.
I would. When I come out to your house and we have the ribs and cheeseburgers, I will take a look at your drawers.
You can rifle through my drawers.
Yes,
see
absolutely.
You want to pick out as a little gift.
I'll just reach into your drawers and grab something.
And
that does it for this episode.
Holy moly.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Again, if you made it this far, I don't know why, but congratulations. You did it.
I've got to chill. This is the first time we've done a public video of us doing this. And what a shame that we're doing this. This is the first time we're doing a video.
Imagine if we had been prepared.
With a bunch of guests and famous people. It would have been great. It would have, and here's this person, here's that. But no. But you know what? This is the purest you can get. This is the purest.
Doesn't get any more pure than this. Unfiltered, unedited, everything. There is everything. Yeah, what you see is what you get. But if you enjoyed it, let us know. Or if you said, please don't ever do this again, let us know. We understand. We understand.
Well, I want to know what you think about the hair and whoever that is in that
in the urn over Jeff's shoulder. If you're missing an urn, if your grandmother is missing, Jeff might have her. Yeah. Let us know. But hey, you can reach out to us, mashmatters.com. You can email us, mashmatterspodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on all the social medias. You can also call and leave a voicemail under 3 minutes in length at 513-436-4077.
Or you can just come over to the house
for cheeseburgers and ribs and look through and rifle through Jeff's drawers. All right. That does it for this episode of MASH Matters. Thank you. And thanks to all of our Patreon VIPs as well. We will salute you in the next episode when we have that salute actually prepared. But until then, here's looking up your old address.